Hey guys, welcome back to Ben & Brings channel. Today's video, we're actually covering how to keg transfer and dry hop or add flavor to your beer on the iGulu. It's kind of an interesting process. If you haven't done it before, we're going to cover how easy it is. Let's check it out. All right, so before we get into our video today about kegging from the iGulu and dry hopping or adding any flavor infusions into either your beer, dry hopping, or whatever beverage you are fermenting or making in it, a reminder, this video is sponsored by iGulu. So we do have a affiliate link listed below. If you do decide to purchase the iGulu, there should be a 20% off coupon with that. If you purchase any of the kits as well, that does help to support our channel. As another quick note, YouTube has kind of suppressed our reach as of late. Sometimes they're not too terribly kind. If you could please like, subscribe, and share if you feel this video is bringing you value, or if you feel our channel is bringing you value. That really means a lot and helps us to be able to continue to bring these videos. Let's get into it. All right, so the process we're going to talk about today is going to be if you've got a beverage that you've already fermented out or made in your iGulu, be it beer or some other beverage, and you want to either dry hop it or add some fruit flavorings or some sort of a spice. This is going to be the best way to do that, and it involves transferring out of your main primary fermentation into kind of a secondary keg, and this is where you will add your flavors or even just get it off of the yeast cake if you're wanting to repitch on top of the old yeast cake and have this available for serving later. Now, you can purchase these from iGulu by themselves, and it comes with a complete kit with the serving tube, the dip tube inside, and the keg itself. All right, so step one is you're going to need to make a transfer hose to get your beer from the fermenter into kind of your new keg or your new serving vessel. So you're gonna remove the serving tube from your fermenting Triton keg, and you're gonna rinse it off and clean it to get any sort of beer residue or anything that may be in there. All right, so once you've removed and cleaned your serving tube from your fermenter, you're gonna wanna remove the black poppet that goes into the top of the keg itself. You're gonna wanna remove it from the tubing. Now, it will be a little tricky because it is barbed, so usually giving it a twist and a pull, you should be able to remove it. It is going to take a little bit of effort. The thing that I can recommend is twisting it as you are pulling it, because that helps to loosen the barbs and then you will not break the tube. Once it has been removed, take that same tubing or that same connector and you're going to insert it into the opposite end of your new Triton keg tubing. What this will give you is basically a serving tube with two barbed connections on either end. This will allow you to hook up both kegs together for the transfer. Next up, you want to make sure that you're sanitizing everything that will come in contact with your beer. So sanitize your Triton keg using Star San, as we talked about before. We'll have a link below if you wish to purchase that. Again, 30-second contact time, no rinse sanitizer. Just dump it out and don't fear the foam. It will be totally fine. Sanitize your Triton keg. Sanitize your newly built transfer tubing, and sanitize whatever you're going to be using to infuse your either dry hop or flavor that you're putting into your beverage. We actually will link below. It's kind of a stainless steel flavor infuser. It has kind of micro pores drilled onto it. I believe it's laser etched. It is stainless. The top unscrews. You can weigh out your hops and things in there, and it will make sure to keep most of the junk inside so you're not clogging up your dip tubes. Make sure you sanitize that as well. Once everything is sanitized, in this case, we're going to be dry hopping today, so go ahead and weigh out the hops that you're going to use in your beer that you finish. Now, iGulu recommends between 20 grams and 30 grams of hops. Go ahead and weigh that out and put it directly into your infuser, seal it up, and put it inside of your empty Triton keg. Next, you're going to go ahead and seal up your Triton keg, put the lid on, add the Triton keg lock to seal it. Next, we're going to work on flushing out a lot of the oxygen from your Triton keg. This is important post-fermentation because you don't want to splash your beer or transfer it into an oxygen-rich environment. This speeds up the oxidation of your beer, can lead to off flavors, and really ruin all the hard work that you put in. So this is a very important step. What you're going to do is take your iGulu keg, you're going to remove the CO2 poppet from your fermenting keg, and you're actually going to attach it to your new Triton keg. You're gonna turn on CO2 mode in your iGulu and allow it to pressurize fully. Once it's reached full pressure, you're going to basically burp the new keg to release that CO2 and oxygen. CO2 is heavier than air, so it should sink to the bottom of your Triton keg, so when you're venting it, what it should do is then release the oxygen. Repeat that 3 times to remove as much oxygen from your Triton keg as possible. Once completed, go ahead and try to pressurize it to about 15 psi. Now that your new keg is oxygen flushed, go ahead and hook up your CO2 line back to your fermenting keg. Now your iGulu should still be in CO2 mode, so now you can go ahead and make sure that your transfer tube that you just built, close the clamp on it to make sure no beer is transferring yet. Not at this point. Make sure that's closed down. Go ahead and hook up the 2 of your kegs. You may need to put some sort of a riser under your new keg to make sure the tube is long enough to reach. But once you get it elevated enough, hook up both of the kegs, and then you're ready to start the transfer. Go ahead and release the clamp on your serving tube, and you should start to see beer flowing from your fermenter now into your new serving keg. It is gonna be filling from the bottom up and should minimize exposure to oxygen. As it's filling, the pressure between the 2 kegs will equalize and the flow will stop. So make sure you're going in and occasionally burping the lid of your serving pressure, of your serving keg, to keep the pressure down so it'll continue to slowly transfer. The goal is to do it as quickly as possible without excessive foam. If it is transferring into a keg that has 0 pressure in it, it's gonna foam up a lot. So you wanna make sure the pressure stays equalized and just a little gentle burping to keep the flow steady and consistent. Once you transfer all the beer into your new serving keg, it's time to go ahead and swap kegs into your iGulu. I'll go ahead and unhook your hoses from both of the kegs, transfer your fermenting keg out of the iGulu, put your new keg into the iGulu with the fresh beer and your hop flavor or whatever infusions you put in there. Go ahead and hook it up to the CO2 line. Now it should still be on CO2 mode, which is perfect. You're gonna wanna sort of dismantle the transfer hose that you had just created. Just remove one of the barbs from one end. Make sure you clamp down your hose clamp again before you hook it up into the Triton keg, and go ahead and put it into your tap for serving. Once that's done, go ahead and allow your Triton keg at least 3 days to allow the dry hop or whatever flavor you're putting in there to kind of permeate through the beer itself. Once that's done, you can go ahead and feel free to serve it since it's already on CO2 mode. It's important to let it calm down after you release that CO2. You've already put it through a transfer. It might have warmed up a little bit in the process and might have lost some of the pressure. So when you initially do that keg transfer, it could be prone to foaming. So allow it that 2-3 days to not only pick up the flavors you put into it, but to allow the CO2 to settle back into solution so you get better pours at the end of it. Hey guys, thank you so much for watching our tutorial today on how to keg transfer and dry hop in the iGulu. Check out our channel for other videos on small batch brewing, on the iGulu, or even on bigger systems and pressure fermentation, all that wonderful stuff. We really appreciate you guys watching. Please make sure you like and subscribe, share, and all of the things. If you feel like this video has brought you value, it honestly does mean a lot to us and allows us to know to continue to bring you this wonderful content. Catch you later, my friends.